I'm Francine Staple. I am a security and safety consultant. I've been plying my trade internationally, first with Kenya, and now I'm based in Yemen.
People, welcome to another version of Mobile Reasoning. Today, as you saw from the intro, we're going to be talking with Francine Staple. I want to call her Francine Superwoman Staple because her story is amazing, which you will see and you will hear. Francine has been all around the world making some serious impact. And that is what we're going to talk about when we get into Mobile Reasoning. Hey, Francine.
Hi, I'm here.
Great. Thank you so much for sitting with us at Good News Jamaica. Um, yeah, your story. I mean, whoever doesn't know your story needs to just do some serious research. At the age of 2, given away by your mom and your 9 other siblings, raised in a stranger's home, and then had to leave. Went to actually not had to leave. You chose to leave.
Yeah, I ran away
And
from home.
you ran away from home and
Yeah.
ended up in a children's home,
Yes.
which apparently was a great thing for you.
Yeah.
Now, eventually you got pregnant, you had to leave, this, it led to, but you are such a super woman right now. So I want to know about what built you into who you are now, because that is what this reasoning is about. Building the people who are watching it to be able to be you.
Yeah. So let me first answer the question, what built me into this? And it is not a very popular response that you'll get, but I will tell you that the constant negativity, I've used it to be the positive individual that I'm at today. So basically, in my work world, I've had great responses from confident people, but the not so confident people has given me a hard time. And because I got that hard time, I having had to prove myself all the time to individuals, then of course it propelled me into succeeding. So that level of negativity, always bombarding, I always have to explain why I do this. My assertiveness has always been channeled into me being aggressive. So you've always heard the negative words, you're aggressive, you're not friendly, you are, or if I do something right, it is very hard for them to commend me on what I have done correctly. So it is more like, oh, maybe she carried news to somebody, or maybe she's sleeping with somebody at the top. So it is never ascribed to my own resilience, my brilliance, and my ability to get the job done.
So now, I mean, all of that is, I mean, it is a perfect formula to push somebody in one direction or the other. A lot of people, unfortunately, get pushed into, let me conform, let me move back to where I'm supposed to be, let me be less than who I feel I am. But you have taken it and it has propelled you into the stratosphere as far as human being should be. And that is amazing because you never had from watching and listening and reading your story, you never had that image of this powerful woman. So where did that come from? I mean, where did that come from?
Well, because of my own circumstances and how people have viewed me over the years that I have been excelling, I decide, and I've been treated less than. So when I was in Gordon Town, I was treated less than. When I transitioned away from there, I was treated less than. I always think that I never had the right skin color. My high school, Excelsior, is not one of those, the school like a champion. So you are not considered a part of that sort of the elite of society. And whilst I have nice hair, which a lot of people don't know because I cut my hair so often, I never had the length, I never had the skin color, I never had the family base. So I'm always backed in a corner. Now that I am where I am in my career, it was always important for me to never treat anybody less than. So in the workplace, everybody is important to me. I go to Yemen and they're in a war situation. I respect every single person at every single checkpoint, whether or not they are guerrillas, whether or not they are informal police or informal army persons or security people. I've always ensured that I treat every single person with respect. The hotel that I am, every single person that cleans my room, it is respectful, and it is the same respect I accord to the general manager of the hotel. And of course, he treats me as the expatriate as I should be treated. And of course, I give the respect to him, the same respect I give him as the GM of the hotel, who will go far and beyond to make me comfortable there. I treat every single person in that hotel with that same respect that I give him. So I have to remain humble. You know, the Lord is not going to be looking at how many Dunian bags you have, how many Movado watches you have. He's going to be looking at how did you treat the common man who is less than you or has a less earning power. So I ensure that is my guide every day.
But you've done that. You've done that and made it even more than your guide. It's been like your persona for everybody. Even when you come home and with what you do here, you're always encouraging and lifting up, and your whole it's like your whole being is to make sure, especially for girls, to make sure that they understand the power that is within them without anybody else.
Of course, you have to. One of the things that I realize a lot of women and girls don't understand, they don't understand their worth. They don't understand their worth. And it's not a problem, it's not because of them per se, but maybe the circumstances that they have gone through. Because it took me over time to understand my worth. What am I worth in this world? And worth is not necessarily monetary, but you must value yourself. And if you don't start loving yourself and value yourself, then it is going to be a situation where you attract what you put out. So one of the things I do, I connect with my self-worth. So some people will ask me, why are you not married? Right now, I am not married because I know my worth and I will not settle for less than I am worth, not because of my circumstances. A lot of people, men that I meet will Google my name, powerful men that I meet will Google my name, know about me. But at the end of the day, don't define me by my past. You have to define me of what you see now. And because I know my worth, that's why I am single, and I will not rush into marriage because I feel that time is running out on me. I just know my worth and I will not settle for less than I'm worth.
I love that. I love that. And you know, it is a message that all girls need to learn, because a lot of people, a lot of girls use their bodies as currency.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they don't get the lesson that every currency in the world depreciates.
Exactly.
And so it's great to see that your merit is your work, is your worth, and is the way that you are impacting others. Now let's switch there for a minute, because this didn't just start overnight. Yeah, you've had a great career in safety and security. From the 1990s till now, you have been laser focused on safety and security. What got you interested in safety and security?
Oh, well, basically, it was such an unfortunate circumstance that got me there, Charles. I must tell you that my friend, Christopher Honeywell, He is an attorney in Jamaica. Really, he's my friend for 31 years. So my friend is 32 years. My son is 33. So it means that we are friends for 32 years because I knew him when my son was 1 year of age. And basically what happened is I was working with Gillian Rowlands and I was her personal assistant. And I mean, I love her to death. But what was happening is when I was there, I just mastered things quickly. And then I get bored easily. And also, it was also a matter of survival. I couldn't give my child what he needed based on the salary at that time. So I called my friend Christopher Honeywell and said to him, listen, I need a job. And he said to me, listen, where I'm at, I'm creating an internal affairs department. So I have an internal affairs office and I have an administrative job position on the organogram. So basically, I sent in my resume. I went through the entire process, the interviews, all of that competitively, because it's a government agency at Port Security Corps. And that's what landed me there. Having now gone into that job and been exposed to investigations, from internal investigations where if staff members run afoul of any passenger at the airport or any conflict with their own manager or supervisors, then I would be the anchor to assist the administrator at the time to do the investigations. And that's where the security bug bit me. So I started there and I excelled and excelled and excelled. I got 2 promotions. And then there was a hurricane in 2006. And I was assisting my staff at the airport, meaning going out there, assisting them to, the airport, when the hurricane comes and a lot of passengers, people want to leave, etc. And there was a gentleman who was in charge of the ports, the manager at the port. It was APM terminals then. And prior to that, I was MC at a graduation where he was guest speaker. And I just approached him and I said to him, hey, I met you at the function yesterday and I assisted him through the search area, etc. And he said, fantastic. What you need to do when I come back, I'm coming back on this date, give me a call and send me a resume because I quite like how you presented yourself yesterday at the function. So that is how I got promoted from the airport, went to the seaport, and then I found that this is what I love, the whole issue of security. Then I made the decision that it is a profession that will assist me into entrepreneurship. And then I started looking for degrees in security. Now, Jamaica at the time never offered any degree in that discipline. So I made contact with the University of Leicester and they had a distance learning program. So I said, you know what? This is the avenue where I'm going to perfect my art. Then I started teaching on the side. I was doing my security certification and I just decided that, hey, this is my comfort zone. And a lot of people don't understand the security profession. So, because in Jamaica, they limit it to a guard or they limit it to law enforcement. And security is quite broader than that. So security is like a tree with many branches. So you have the law enforcement, you have maritime, you have physical security, you have construction security. So basically, I am honing my skill now because I understood the whole security profession. I am able to work. I worked in the UN and I worked in construction security. Many people don't understand the whole issue of construction security. Then now I'm in Yemen working in maritime security.
And so let's break that down a little bit, because security, I mean, like you were saying, it's like a tree with a whole bunch of branches.
Yes.
And you have gone from Port Authority to
Yes.
to UNDSS to
yes.
I mean, all over the place. based
Yes.
on your knowledge of security. A lot of people don't understand just how intricate security is in
Yes,
everything we do. When we think of
exactly.
import and we think of security, we think of drugs and guns. But
Mhm.
there's so much more long before we talk about import that we have to
Yes,
talk about safety and security.
exactly.
Explain that a little bit. Give a little information on the importance of security with our daily lives.
Okay, so the security in your daily life now boils down to personal security, meaning how do you manage security within your environment, within your space? Then you have another side of that, which dovetails into your entire building security. How do you manage your security from the stage of the prior, when you lay that foundation in construction? So they have something in security called crime prevention through environmental design.
Hmm.
That is what we employ when we are doing construction security. So you can use your environment and actually design out crime. Where do you put your windows? How do you manage your locks on your doors when you leave, when you send away your helper because you separate from her? Have you changed your locks? What type of locks are you using? When you buy a new home, do you continue with the same locks that NHT apply to you? When you have an open lot near to your building, how do you manage that lot? Do you turn it into a football field? So when you talk about crime prevention through environmental design, you look at your environment and how you will design out crime in that environment. So basically you have one of those strategy is turning unsafe zone into safe zones. So an unsafe zone could be an open lot where you have a lot of bush. And now you have developed that into a basketball court. People are going to be there. So you have designed crime away from that environment because no criminal wants to be seen. Now you have aviation security, which calls for a whole different tactics at the airport, because from that transportation sector, it's a different type of security that you're talking about. When you go to the seaport, it is maritime security. And maritime security is governed on land and sea. And it is the interface between land and sea. How do you interface? Where do you interface? Who does the interface? So it depends on the territorial waters where you have your Coast Guard. Then you have your port facility security officer on the port who interfaces with the ship, which in my training, I usually tell people that it is called a floating business place. So it is just on the sea. How do you manage that interface? How do you manage your threats? How do you plan before a ship comes into port? When the ship comes into port, what do you do from a security perspective whilst that vessel is in port? So it is a lot. Then you have the national security component that interfaces with the port. So you have the intelligence unit, you have your drug enforcement unit, you have your Jamaica customs agencies, then you also have the health portion of security, where communicable diseases that may be brought into your country as a result of a sick crew member on board. How do you manage that health security component? So this is what people don't understand.
So let me ask you this now, Francine. How do Jamaicans, because you are from Kingston and Garden Town, how do Jamaicans that don't have the brethren for 32 years and so on and so forth, how do Jamaicans get into security on the and to get to the levels that you are in? Because I think, I mean, just the list of opportunities you just listed, I'm sure somebody is going to say, yo, we need to try this thing.
Yeah, so basically, security is a mindset. You have to have that frame of mind first. You have to have that security mind, because it's not just jumping into a profession and say, oh, it sounds fancy what she talks about, I want to get into there. It is a state of mind. So I often learn from my professor at the University of Leicester. He said, security is a state of mind. those that leave their minds in an inert state will always be in a reactive mode. And that is what is happening to a lot of nations now. They're very reactive because security is not a state of mind for them. So when from the ministerial level, if security is not a state of mind, you can't manage security. So first of all, it has to be a state of mind, one, and you now need to apply yourself to that state of mind. You have to do your certifications, you have to do your research. So once you find that this is what I want to be in, you have to research to find out what are the certifications out there that will enhance my profession.
Hold on. Stop
so
right,
you go
stop
for
right
that.
there. Hold on
Yeah.
1 second. So,
Sure.
okay. So there's obviously in any profession that you want to go into, you have to do the research. But
Yeah.
how does one get started? Do the universities here offer security, some type of security degree?
Well, I know I taught at Caribbean Maritime University, and they do have a security administration program that covers broad areas. They also have at University of the West Indies, the MSc in National Security and Strategic Studies, so that they're catering to a particular sector of security. Mm-hmm. Now you have the Caribbean Maritime Institute, it's now university, that offers the maritime component. And of course, you have the Caribbean military academies, all the different things. But how do we fuse this component together? Now, I didn't just go to school to get all that I have. There have been partnerships with the government and overseas governments, of course, trade relations, etc., different types of relations, security relations, etc. So I have been selected to go on many courses to hone my skill. So for instance, I went to Las Vegas in 2013. I am a trainer for radiation detection from radiated containers, carrying weapons of mass effect, etc. So I am trained in that. Now I can offer that training wherever I go in the world, I can offer that training. So some of it is through partnership with the government. Now I did my physical security professional certification, which is offered by ASIS International. So they have a series of certifications that you can do, but you don't just get in and do the certification because you have to be recertified every 3 years. So because of that, you have to ensure that security is constant work. It's just like the lawyer, it's just like the doctor. They have to continuously do refresher courses to ensure that they remain recertified. I wanted to take it to a different level to do my master's because I wanted to be a lecturer. So basically why I took mine to the master's level. Again, it is because of I am in that state of mind, I want to do that. So don't go into a profession because it sounds nice rolling off the tongue of Francine. It must be something that you yourself want to do, and you're in the state of mind to manage that process.
And I've in doing my research on you, I know that you love to investigate. You love it. you're in at everything. You want to know how everything work.
Right? Yes, I do.
Right. So you can see all the different loopholes and you can close those loopholes.
Yes, of course.
You remind me of a great friend of mine that I have. She's also in security, but she's in information security.
Yes.
In Washington, D.C. She's the top penetration tester in Washington, D.C. She's from Trelawney. Her name is Lily Lodrick. And the same energy, the same drive.
Yes,
she has, and it's just beautiful to watch,
Yeah, and it's important. It's something important that I told somebody who contacted me on LinkedIn just this morning, assisting him in putting his resume together, and also talking to him about applying yourself when you go into the workplace. Because a lot of persons, especially us as consultants, when we go into the workplace, we work towards our terms of reference. We work just to meet those deliverables. So you get 40 deliverables for the month, and you work just to meet that 40 deliverable. You will not succeed in the security profession in that. So when you go into an organization, whether it's the UN, CTG, whether or not you are in the Yemen space, etc., you don't just go and do the bare minimum. You look at what you have, how you can improve in an area that was not mentioned in your TOR, and say, hey, program manager, you have left this out. Let us close this loophole. So some of those are the things that I do to ensure that I remain relevant in the space.
Well, I tell you, your methods are working, because you are continuously on somebody else's list of, we need to get her. We need to get her. And what I've noticed, though, is with your career, is that you haven't really chased the opportunities all the time. The opportunities have been coming to you, and
Yes.
that says a lot about you and
Yeah.
the work ethic that you have and the results you produce.
Yeah, it's funny that you pick that up, though. I don't know how you pick that up, that the opportunities are chasing me.
I'm an investigator.
Because when my contract came to an end in Kenya, of course, you know, they want me to come back there. But when my contract was nearing an end in Kenya, someone contacted me on LinkedIn to say, hey, are you still in Nairobi? I said, yes. And when does your contract end? I said, in December. He said, listen, we need to meet. We have an opportunity for you. So I said, okay. And I went to a nice Italian restaurant, and I said, okay. I told my bosses there who I'm meeting with, where I'm going, because I don't know who is this person. So I went, and the next thing I know, in January, is in Yemen.
I love it. I love it. And you know, a lot of people, you know, when we think of Yemen, we think of war and destruction and civil war. All
Yeah.
these things. But you're a Jamaican woman, and you're just gliding through there like a hot knife in butter. I mean, it is how is it over there? How is it being over there?
Well, first of all, the people there could not understand my excitement of coming to Yemen, because nobody wants to go to Yemen.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody likes to go to Yemen, especially females, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a tough zone. So one of the things I had to do was to get into myself and say, because I tend to be very strict and like order. I like nothing illegal. I like nothing out of place.
Mm-hmm.
I like to stay within the laws and the regulation that guides anywhere that I work.
Right.
So I had to adjust myself to say, now they're in a war zone. You have informal security. I get working again with the formal alongside the formal. How do I do this? So I had to adjust and say, because I'm very good at adjusting. I can go uptown, I can go Middletown, and I can go downtown. Mm-hmm. So I had to take on that persona. And then, so I fuse my personality, because I have a great personality, by the way.
You certainly do.
Yes. So I had to fuse my personality to help me overcome the whole environment. Mm-hmm. So I started from I flew from the US. I flew from the US into Qatar to Jordan to Egypt. When I got to Egypt, it was not such a nice reception. So then I drew on my personality, because these guys were like rigid. Who are you? Who? Where's your clearance to get into Yemen? Because you have to get clearance. Even though you're issued a visa, you have to get clearance to get in. Okay. So you can't just go in. It's not a tourist zone. So of course, I was like, I don't have my letter. I was told it was called in here, and the guy was like going real. And then I just rolled my sleeve up to show my Jamaican paraphernalia on my hand. Mm-hmm. And then he says, oh, Bob Marley. I said, yes. Then, of course, I went through. Then I was a bit
Wait, hold
scared.
on. I want you back up. I want you back up because I want that reality to sink into the person watching this video. You did what?
I rolled up my sleeve because I had long sleeve on, because you know the flights are usual, those long flights are usually very cold, you know, so I had long sleeve on. So I rolled up my sleeve. I had my Bob Marley paraphernalia on my right hand and my Kenyan armband on the left. Somehow he saw the Jamaican flag and he said, "Bob Marley." I said, "Yes, I'm from Jamaica." I said, "Yeah, I'm from Jamaica. So are you going to treat a Jamaican girl with so rough? We're used to nice, calm, nice men." And he said, "Come over here." And he took my suitcase and, oh my Lord. And I got the treatment. So I diffused a situation. And then, because I tend to not use this UN banner too much. So I say, "Yeah, I'm from Jamaica." And he started singing the "Everything's Gonna Be All Right." Yeah. Absolutely. So that I used and got through. Then when I went on the plane, it was all Yemenis. Everybody's in their hijab. And so I said, okay, I realized that everybody was there. So I went and I took my scarf and I tied my head. And I sat beside a Yemeni American. So, and again, I used my personality because everybody was staring at me. I'm a Westerner, I look different from everybody else. So I used my armband. I kept my sleeve rolled up with my Jamaican, yeah. And I use another strategy. I carry around a Jamaican flag with me wherever I go. So that strategy, that flag was given to me by David Riley, the coach from Excelsior. He brought it up when the junior team came to Kenya. So I took it out and I wrapped it around my shoulder. And then I became an instant celeb on the plane. So that took me right.
Yeah, pause you again. I'm going to pause you again. Because you see, I have been saying this for so many years. I say it till my tongue all I drop out. That the power of the Jamaican flag is not recognized unless you travel.
Yes, because what I found out, that there were some Yemeni Americans just going back home for holidays to see their families. And by taking out that Jamaican flag, what I did, I strategically did it because I wanted to quell my anxiety, because I was a little bit anxious because you're in a plane and you hear about war and you start thinking about they're going to shoot the plane out of the sky, and my whole security brain started going to overwork. So I had to use that to calm myself. So I was going to the bathroom and then I put my flag around my shoulder. And then I became a flight attendant for about 10 minutes thereabouts, because everybody wanted to talk to me. Yeah, so that was great. Then when I landed at the airport, of course, you know, the protocols kicked in. You know, my what you call it, close protection officer was sent to get me, of course, you know, in the proper armored vehicle, et cetera, et cetera. So, and then getting to the hotel, everybody was nice, but they are beautiful people. The Yemenis are beautiful people. Their food is similar to ours in terms of spices. Yes, their food is very spicy. They do eat a lot of rice. And I did my research before going there. So I like their lamb soup and all of that. And I am given the red carpet treatment there. Beautiful. Now, I'm a bit popular in Yemen, yes, in Aden. So I'm basically working out of the north of Yemen. Yeah, the north? Yeah. The north. Yeah. So I'm in Aden, basically. So I'm a little bit of a celebrity there because, you know, the whole banner which I work under and what I'm doing, you know, I stand out too, even though I'm their skin color. Right. I stand out in that I'm not Arab, you know, I'm not a Yemeni. So I stand out, and because of my country, everybody now, oh, it's, you know, your first meeting, that your high level meeting you go to, they know you're from Jamaica.
Mhm.
So everybody knows about the Jamaican girl. They see me in the local papers, all of that. So based on the work that I'm doing. So yeah, I'm a bit of a celebrity there. I mean, the calls are coming in. When are you coming back? When are you coming back?
That's
I'm waiting for Ramadan to be over. Yeah. And the way I relate to the people, because you have to see people for who they are. So usually in life, I start everybody out at 100%. You can either stay there or you can go below. So for me, I ensure that I did not go in there with any preconceived notion of who these people are, but get to know them for myself. And then I end up doing a charity with the church. I sacrifice from my salary. And funny, their dollar is not well. So 100 US is like 120,000 Yemeni reals.
Wow.
So I try to give that 120,000 Yemeni reals to the church that has a program for persons who have difficulties with their eyes.
Okay.
People who have cataract, all of that. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah. So they have a clinic. So they're beautiful people though.
Well, you know what? You're in good company then, because you are a beautiful human being. And Jamaica is so happy to have you and lucky to have you as an ambassador. I
don't know. I'm not so sure about that, but
you don't have to worry about that. Remember, I said Jamaica. Jamaica incorporates the people of Jamaica, right? And the people of Jamaica, then there's a small section of it named government. And
yes,
that part we're not talking about, we're talking about the people, because you are representing the greatness within us, right?
Yes.
And for that, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. Man. Big you up in a Jamaican style. Go there, my girl. Don't stop what you do. I mean, not like you're going to stop. You're not a choice. This is you.
No.
You are now.
Yeah, this is me. Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, when you come back,
I'm pretty authentic. I tell people I'm not Japanese parts.
I love it. I love it. No, there could never be another you, may I tell you. And the good thing is that now maybe we'll be building another you, because somebody is going to watch this and say, I've always liked to be an investigator, and they will start their journey. And maybe
yeah, of course,
you will meet somebody somewhere down the road that will say, I saw you on Good News Jamaica, and boom, that was it.
I can tell you, just that post that I made on LinkedIn, I was surprised this morning. I checked, I was viewed by 31,000 people. I was like, what is going on? So many people.
I know I shared it because trust me, it was powerful.
Yes, thank you very much. I have gone through a lot. These days I can speak without emotions. Sometimes it depends on what I'm speaking about. The tears will come. But, I'm really thankful for those persons who stood up with me. Because, you have people who will give up because they helped a few, and that few turned their backs on them, or that few was the one who went for the guillotine when the neck was to be cut, and you give up. For me, those people are the ones who push me to greatness, because a part of my thrust is to prove my detractors wrong. And the way to prove your detractors wrong is to continue to excel. That's verse in the Bible where you said you ask the Lord when you pray to spread the table what it says?
Spread the table in the sight of my enemies.
Yes, before my enemies. Yes. Man, and my table is very broad, and the Lord usually have a nice white tablecloth that he spread on my table.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I pray an awful lot. I talk to God like I'm talking to you.
Nice.
So I don't go to any church that I have to clap hands and make a lot of noise. I thank him every day
Mhm.
for where he has placed me in my life. I'm at a very good place in my life, very good place.
I love it.
I've dined with kings and queens, and I've dined with also those people of less than the ilk of the kings and queens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, my lady, I could talk to you forever. And we're going to keep in touch because right now you're such an inspiration. And I love people like yourself to be in my corner. So just
Yeah,
know
of course.
I've adopted you as my new friend, right? So
I mean, your Uncle Charlie would be happy
that's
yeah, because he usually remember all of us when we usually pass and shout out his name through the bush. We say, Uncle Charlie. And you'd hear that healthy laughter.
yes.
Yeah, so yeah, but you know, I thank God for where I'm at and for those people, especially Christopher Honeywell. I have to big him up because that man has stood by me in every area and sphere of my life.
Yeah.
That man has been, when you see, I would not date a man that doesn't have his qualities.
Mm-hmm.
He stands by me in every situation. If he's to ground me, he grounds me. And when he's to lift me up, he does. Mm-hmm. Gillian Rowlands, my foster parents from the home, Joan and Clinton Brown, those people have been a tower of strength. Noel Hilton, may his soul rest in peace. The Honorable Noel Hilton, may his soul rest in peace. He saw something that many never see and promoted me. He gave me that. Mm-hmm. At the port, and I thank him for that. Peter Ford, he's a United States citizen. He was at APM terminals. He gave me that chance. Omar Walker at the port, always behind me. I'm calling a lot of men names, but
I was going to ask you about that, but continue.
Yeah, the men have stood behind me. I've had my fair share of detractors in males in Jamaica in the security industry. But when I did my analysis of those men, I realized why they are intimidated by me. So I use them, and I really thank them too, because maybe I would not be where I'm at if I didn't have them. I have the most beautiful people at the United Nations office in Kenya. Peter Marshall, a Jamaican. You need to interview that man.
Well, you need to set up
Peter Marshall, the Jamaican. Prince Bruce, the Ghanaian. Talia Owen Frigate. She is a South African white woman who stand by me. When I went to Kenya, you have to understand, I left Jamaica going into a strange country, no one. Mm-hmm. It is when I went there, I realized there's a gentleman in Jamaica. I will never forget him. He is my heart and soul. He forced me to apply for the UN. When I said to him, I'm not applying because I'm not going to get through. AC, retired Assistant Commissioner of Police, Ronald Anderson. That man is a cheerleader. And people will say, I bet you're asleep with them. These men respect me so much. They have never crossed the line as it relates to me. Never crossed the line. It may be in their thought, but I have not seen it overtly. Right. But I'm telling you, I have had some strong men in my career. I've had the most beautiful people in Kenya. When I landed in Kenya, it's a chance I took and went there. And let me tell you, they can't wait for me to return. I'm telling you, beautiful people, but you have to pray. You have to seek God's guidance every day. You have to love. You have to put love in the universe in order to receive that love. You have to, every salary I get, I take care of someone in every country I go. You have to give back. A lot of us don't learn to give. We have to give back. It's not about the Movado watches. I can buy anything that I need for myself now, but what have I given back to society? Have I given someone without shoe? I remember the days, Charles, when I could not afford sanitary napkins. I was using cloth made from the flour bags. In my days, they had some flour bags in Gordon Town where you went down to Mr. Hugh's shop.
Oh, yes.
And you wait until the flour is finished and you go and you wash it. And I had to cut it with scissors and roll it to make sanitary napkins for myself.
Wow.
Because I couldn't afford that. I had to use chew stick to clean my teeth. To go to school. I had to ose coconut oil, the great coconut oil that everybody's running down now, to shine my skin. I had to use hosiery from the pantyhose as underwears. So, you know, we have to give back. We don't know what people are going through, because my friends from high school said to me, Francine, we didn't know you were going through all of that. I lived in a tent with my child.
Yes. Yes.
I lived in a tent with my child. I had to pass my stool in a scandal bag because we had no toilet, right? So I don't want people to just view me and see me as up there. I have been through the trenches. I know hunger. I know when you're hungry, what it is to just drink some water and some sugar. And when there's no sugar, you drink the water alone.
That's right.
Luckily, I had an iron deficiency where I usually eat the soil. So when I'm hungry, I pack up the soil in an orange juice box and take it inside the tent with me to eat it, to suppress my hunger. So I have been there. I have been there where I've been wearing people in Jamaica's clothes as hand-me-downs. Now I can give back the clothes that I don't need, right? So we have to understand when we see people out there excelling, do not pass aspersions that, oh, she was sleeping with John Brown, or she carried news for her to get a promotion, or she did this. I usually say to people, I earn what I earn through sweat and tears. I never went on my back with my legs extended in the air to get where I'm at. So, you know, and each of us, if we take on that, we will make a better world. So when I go and I see the girls in Yemen, when I drive past and I see them, I stop my CPO and said, hey, let's give her some money to buy rice. Let's give her some money to buy milk. Let's give her some money to buy butter. Because it's not easy to be in that sun hot with your hijab on, full black, sitting there begging with your child with runny nose. Because I remember when I went through that. I have been there. Hardship. Wow. Hardship, I know it. I know hardship.
Boy, Francine, you can see I am silent because it's important for you to tell your story, you know?
Yeah. I have gone through situations where when I was in Gordon Town, one particular guy, I hear he's dead now, he usually touched me inappropriately and I didn't understand. I just froze. I don't know what to do. And I knew from then that if I spoke out, maybe it would be pushed back to me. Whilst he didn't penetrate me, he touched me inappropriately. It is when you get older now, you understood. And when I was being rebellious, people took it that, oh, she get bad, or she doing this, or she doing that. But we don't take time to know what is happening with our people, what is happening with the kids. You know, I went through a lot. I usually hide from my mom when I saw her on the road. She was insane. I took her off the streets. She died recently in New York last year, but I knew from day one what I wanted. That is why I ran away from home. And even as a little girl, when I ran away, people were saying, oh, she has 5 kids. She's gone to live with her father. Until this day, I don't know what my father looked like in the flesh. I don't know him. I met my sisters and brothers from his side and have a picture, but I don't know him in the flesh. I've never seen him. Yet people were saying these things. So it is, in life, we have to know what we are doing, how we try to talk about people, how we try to talk about kids, how we try to define people's lives. But with me, I am even stronger than I think. People are saying to me, Francine, you are so strong. I don't even know where I get the strength from. But one of the things with me, I am very focused. And a lot of people in this life, why they are failing, it is because they lose focus. And when I lectured at Caribbean Maritime University, I usually say to my students, you need to remain focused. I use the analogy of a dog barking. If every dog bark and you stop, see how many times you spend stopping. You will not reach where you're going. So everything in my life, I have a time limit. So I'm doing this project in Yemen, and I just completed my schedule. I have to focus on my schedule, what I have to do, because I need to finish. Because this morning I had a meeting where someone is offering, he wants me to partner with him to do some online training. Right. So it's another opportunity that comes out. So you have to stay focused. Right. And if we stop to look at every dog that barks behind us, we'll never reach our destination. So with me, people will say, oh, she's bossy or she's this. I'm not boastful. I'm just very focused.
I love it.
And nobody breaks me easily.
Why, Francine, I me love you. Me not tell no lie. Me just come and tell you. Me love you. You cannot ever stop being who you are naturally. You are living proof of that. I am so impressed, and impressed is not the word. Me love you. That's the only thing me can say to you, right?
Thank you. Thank you for loving me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's amazing for me, a man, to see the development in you, a woman who everybody would have thought, she not gonna make it. She,
yeah.
But you have, against all odds, gone to the top. And the thing about it is that not only are you up there waving your flag and saying, look at me, you are pointing to the people below and saying, come on, you can do it too.
Yeah, man. We have to open doors for people. We have to open doors for people.
May I tell you, Francine, we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to be in touch regular, like have you on WhatsApp. So just understand, so me go annoy you. Yeah, man. Reach out to you enough just to check on you and check on your phone and everything.
Thank you.
Well, I want nothing but growth and positivity and prosperity for you, my friend.
Yes, thank you. Especially the prosperity. The prosperity side, really nice.
Well, it looked like it now. I got stop it because I've gone into the online stage. So, and one of your greatest things is that you love to teach. And
yeah, I love to teach. Yeah, and we have to lift people up. We never know who is down. I don't religiously post on LinkedIn, but I go by. Sometimes I get up and I have a spirit. Like this morning, I was in and out of sleep. I'm at my sister's, by the way. She's an attorney, so she's gone to court today. So I need you to interview my sister, The whole way I come down the hardship.
Yeah, listen to me, because she's one of the 10, right?
Yes. Oh, of course, she's a former model in Jamaica. She modeled with Pulse many years ago.
She'll get her own video.
And this morning I woke up and it just kept repeating, I am woman. I am that woman. That woman is me. And I now know that that's what the cover of my book will be. I am that woman.
But you
Yeah.
you have a book.
Yeah, I'm writing my book now. I'm actually writing.
So hold on there. What about From Insecurity to Security, memoirs of
Yes, I keep changing the title, but I think I'm going to split the book in two.
Okay.
One that encapsulates my professional life and one that encapsulates my personal life, with the angle of how to succeed despite challenges in your personal life, and the other, how to succeed despite challenges in your work world.
All right, Francine, thank you so much. Thank you for sitting with Good News Jamaica. Thank you for letting us talk about your story. And
Yes.
thank you for inspiring all of us into being the best of not even the best that we can be, but that the best there is. Keep on doing your great work.
Thank you. Everybody just need to be a better version of themselves.
See, you have all these nuggets. I love it. All right.
Yes.
So until such time, people, thank you very much for choosing Good News Jamaica and listening and watching Mobile Reasoning. As you know, I was talking with Francine Staple, otherwise Francine Superwoman Staple, the inspiration of the whole away. So make sure you go on LinkedIn, go check her out. She's everywhere. Just go look for Francine Staple Jamaica and you'll see. All right. Until such time, thank you for watching Mobile Reasoning.
Thank you for checking us out on Good News Jamaica TV for content that informs, inspires, and transforms. Please like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more positive Jamaica content. Walk good,